Welcome back to Keep On Collecting. It's Matt here, doing it solo. No Andrew, no Scott, no Dean. Yeah, it's a bit of a new experience going toy hunting at the Newcastle Toy Fair today. Alright, still at home, about to get on the road. I'm going to grab myself a coffee and get to Newcastle to check out this toy fair for a toy hunt. How exciting! Alright, back in the toy room after a marvellous day of toy hunting and socialising within the toy community. Nothing beats meeting people in this community and having a good chat to them about toys and meeting new people. So that's what that was all about today. Newcastle held a toy fair. I'm not sure the official name. I will probably flash that up on the screen so you know who it is. All right, so it was supposed to open at 9 o'clock and I walked in probably about 9:15 and it was open. So paid my $5 and got in there. First table I got to, wouldn't you know it, there's a vintage Slave One. Is complete, is in very good condition. And it came with a bunch of figures, a couple of Stormtroopers, Boba Fett, a couple of Bespin Guards, Lobot, and they were carrying Han in carbonite. And I ummed and ahed, and I thought there wasn't very many people in there. I think a lot of people were probably expecting it to open at 9. Tricky. So I ummed and ahed, but not for very long. And I thought, you know what, like I missed out on one from Canberra last year, went off to my good mate Andrew. So I missed out on that one, and I have been after one for probably 2 or 3 years. eBay prices have skyrocketed over the last couple of years for the vintage Slave One. I don't need no box. This was a beautiful example of Slave One complete. Nothing broken, no reproduction parts, and I'm very happy to have this in my collection. I've just got to find a place to put it. But very happy. So that was the very first table, and then I thought I'd go down and check out Owen's table. Funny enough, there was Dan and Monique. Just bumped into them. They're having a chat to Owen. Owen had a great spread, a lot of course, a lot of Ninja Turtles. Owen's quite prominent in the Ninja Turtles. I noticed that he had a few Jurassic Park figures as well. And of course, there was a couple of big ones on the side there that I reckon my mate Dean and Scott would be looking at very closely. I don't know too much about Ninja Turtles figures, however, Killer Bee and Needle Nose are two figures that I've come accustomed to because, yes, Scott and Dean are quite prominent in talking about it. And I think they were there at the last Collecticon, or a Collecticon at the end of 2022. So having a bit of a chat to Dan and Monique, and we were a bit surprised, I guess, by the size of the toy fair. It wasn't overly big. There was quite a few tables stacked in. People were starting to arrive. It was 9 o'clock and there was a few people starting to arrive. So moving from there, I was trying to look for Carl. Now, so leading up to the event, I had gone onto eBay and found a couple of items from Retro Cartel Collectibles. That is run by Carl, and some of you might be familiar with Carl. He does some Saturday nights with Tony B. So I didn't know this at the time, but you live and learn, right? So I found my way eventually over. I kind of wandered upstairs, so there was a upstairs area, and funny enough, there was Kyle from Second Childhood Toys up there, but he wasn't really behind the tables. I think he had a bunch of helpers. He had 5 tables, a bunch of people helping, and had a quick hi to him, and then there he was. There was Carl, and there was his tables. Lovely vintage goodness. So it was really good to see Carl, introduce myself to Carl, and we had a chat. All right, this is Carl's table from Retro Cartel Collectibles. Got some LJNs.
That's the new one.
Here's Carl. How you going, Carl?
How you going?
Having a good day?
Very good, yeah.
Yeah,
busy.
good, some good sales?
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, it's just packed out here. I can't believe it.
Yeah.
It's the first time.
Yeah, this is the first one, yeah?
Yeah. So hopefully,
it's my first time selling it, so...
It's good to meet you, finally. Yeah, if it's big enough, like hopefully they'll do this on a yearly basis, or or 6 monthly or something. It'd be really good, yeah.
I'd be down for it.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll find a bigger venue.
A bigger venue?
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
We're from Tamworth, and it's turned out so well for us.
Bit of a bargain bin here. Oh, big show. Harry Potter car. There you go. Merman. Sweet. As I said, a couple of items previously I'd lined up, and here they are. There was from Galoob, a Star Trek Next Generation Ferengi fighter. Now, I used to have the Galoob items as a younger myself, and I think my brother got them all. So he's got all the figures, and he kind of expanded on what we did have, and has I think he's got the whole collection. And I thought, man, I miss my Galoob. So I thought I'd start it up again. I think my brother's got this, so I got the Galoob Ferengi fighter in box. It has been opened, so I'm not going to break it open and break any seals. But yeah, there was that, and done a deal, and so it was a really good price. And here is Worf unpunched. So there you go, beautiful. Just a beautiful card, lovely and thick, and there you go. And so that's Worf. I think he's got Data as well, so I need to purchase a Data figure from Carl as well. It's very kind of him to put this aside. And he was, funny enough, situated next to Tony B. Tony B has once again so many good items. So I was just checking out all of Tony's items, and yeah, there was a Motu figure. Now recently I'd looked at my Motu figures when I was having a chat to Phil, Adam and Zazel on their Mo Tuesdays, and I realised that my Jitsu's hand, his right chopping hand, it was very poor condition. So there he had I had spied a lovely rendition of Jitsu, and that is well, it's not amazingly gold because it is 40 years old almost, but it is a lot more gold than mine, and you can pull this out and ta-da! So now I've got a handless Jitsu, and I'll put that on my Jitsu. $10. You can't go wrong, really. So after having a chat to Tony, I just decided to wander around the remainder of the toy fair and come across Amy Chandler. And Amy Chandler, of course, runs Collecticon out at Campbelltown and Penrith Collecticons. So, but there this day she had her own table selling her own items, and so we caught up for a little bit there as well. So they were probably the people that I met most. I'd met. From that point on, it was just going around the other tables, checking out what other people had. There was a few. There was a lady who they did a lot of 3D printing for, looked like Dungeons and Dragons figures, quite small. And so you could buy them at a decent price. It's a new Millennium Falcon. This guy is predominantly Star Wars, and in saying that, here's some hits. Not sure what they're from.
Looks good.
Funko.
Yeah, I just had a guy check it out and then he wasn't willing to offer a price.
It's got a YouTube channel, so I'm just like doing a bit of a thing for the watchers.
Hang on, is there a YouTube channel for this?
No, for me.
Oh, right.
Keep on collecting. That's why I just thought I'd pull out the camera.
Oh, yeah, right.
Bloody busy though, it's good.
Yeah.
We all know a guy in our community by the name of Darth Muzza. Muzza and I had decided we were going to meet up at this toy fair and just hang out a little bit and you know, go out and have a coffee afterwards after we had a hunt. So Muzza got there probably about 10. And previously, a week before, I had gone off to him and just asked him whether he could make a little bit of a diorama just for my Masters of the Universe figure. So, you know, to fit a 5.5-inch figure in this diorama. Now, Muzza initially said, oh, I'm pretty busy. When do you need it? Is it urgent? I went, no, just in your own good time. But actually, before I'd actually answered it, the next day, he'd sent me a picture on just something he'd whacked together with polystyrene that he'd had left over. And this is, and this is the end product. Just, I mean, this blew my mind. We had finished the toy fair. We'd gone off to his car and he'd given me this diorama and it blew my mind. And he'd put it together in a week. So he'd carved out all the bricks and he'd stuck in those little bits of moss between the bricks and a little bit of grass through the floor there. The rocks are all removable so you can place them in different positions when you display them with the figures. He'd painted it and weathered it all in a week. It was just absolutely brilliant. It was more than I'd thought that I could, that I'd wished for. So just sit back and just have a look at this beautiful diorama created by Darth Muzza for me. What a wonderful guy. It was great to sit down with him, have a coffee, get to know him better, and quickly go into Zing and have a look at some Star Wars figures, see if they had anything new. So that was excellent. But just have a look at this diorama. Here we are, like it can go with the Master Universe figures. Look, it could probably even be used for my stop motion Cyclops in the future at some point too. So he said he had looked at some Masters of the Universe pictures of the green Castle Grayskull and just some, I guess, some pictures around Eternian buildings, I guess, and come up with this, and it was just, yeah, perfect, absolutely perfect. So thank you very much, Muzza. I really appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. That was a beautiful diorama. I really appreciate the effort you put in, and in such a quick time. Like, I wasn't expecting it to be done in a week. Very skilled. So thank you very much. So they were my pickups at the Newcastle Toy Fair. All right, and at the end of the day, we came home, and Dan and Monique stopped in on the way back to Western Sydney just for some refreshments, check out the toy room, and show off their pickups. And here they are. They were happy with their chicken pie thrower, which was basically a repaint of the 90s pizza thrower from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So that was that blew my mind, and so there was a little bit of a backstory with that. They were quite happy with their Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle mask that they picked up, and also some of the figures that they had acquired from, I think, Tony B and Owen. So they were very happy, and it was great to catch up with them and have, like, you know, for a few hours. Leanne and I just had a great chat, get to know Dan and Monique a lot better. So what a day. What a day. Absolutely brilliant Saturday. Hopefully they will have this again, the Newcastle Collectors Convention. There was a lot of people there. A lot of the table stall owners were saying it could be bigger. So hopefully they will look for a bigger space for next time. They've definitely got the interest there. Of course, if they've got a bigger place, they can get some more tables and fit more people in, you know, sellers and buyers. And hopefully next time I can be accompanied by Andrew and Scott, Dean and Sarah, and who else will come, who knows. It was just a brilliant day to behold, and it was good to check it out. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Just something quick to, well, I don't know if it was quick. I hope you've enjoyed the video. it was just something I need to put together just to show, well, the guys what they missed out on, and maybe just tease them a little bit for next time that it is on and get them to come up. All right, so that's it from Keep On Collecting. Hope you've enjoyed the vid. Stay safe out there and look after yourselves, look after your family, get into your toy rooms because it brings a smile to the dial. All right, take it easy out there. Thanks again. Keep on collecting. Oops. Remember, as Andrew and I always say, keep on collecting. Catch you next time. Thanks, everyone.